I will play against Lily. I'm Lily from Duolingo. This game won't last long enough for you to learn anything about me. Um, this actually tempts me to take all of her pieces and win that way. So I actually get to know her a little bit better. About what she says. If you have been doing Duolingo, you know that Lily is the least friendly out of all the characters. She is a bored teenager that all the time says something bad to you. So I'm curious what she has to say about my chess. Let's go. Okay, so I will just play as random. Okay, so we will be white. And let's start. So as mentioned, I will try to explain my moves to you. You want to play me. You don't have like friends. I don't insult me, Lily, please. It already hurts, but I don't have. Okay, so e4 it is. We control the center like always. Great, we are one move closer to being finished with this game. Okay, Sicilian. I will just continue with knight f3, trying to control the center still. How boring. I can already see how you are going to lose. If you are not worried, you should be. She's not so friendly indeed. I normally play bishop b5 here, so I will just continue with that. I play the Rossonimo. So bishop b5. Yes, because the idea is, well, we want to develop the bishop, right? Castle fast and potentially get rid of this piece that is controlling the center. Given up hope yet, or should I ask again in a few moves? Your opening style is so unique, it's almost like you don't know any openings. Hey, that's not nice. That's not nice. I know I need to improve my opening theory. No need to call me out on that. Okay, so we will castle. I want to put my king into safety before I do anything. This is one of the opening principles. So this for sure will happen at some point. Why not do it now? Okay, bishop g7 makes a lot of sense, putting that bishop on g7, fianchettoing it. Stay in your lane, which isn't chess, clearly. Look at that. You are already losing. Here I think I will play knight c3. I will play knight c3, and if knight f6 happens, I think I will need to push that pawn. And well, gain some space in the center. Knight c3 for sure needs to happen. I don't want to play d3 yet. d4 doesn't make sense now since it is defended by 3 pieces, and I only defend it with it's attacked by 3 pieces and I only defend it with 2 pieces, so that doesn't make sense. c3 should be also possible, but I just prefer the knight c3 line, so I will do that. That's an interesting choice. I'm getting that piece one way or another. I'm really tempted to put this back so she doesn't get it. But okay, I won't do that. Once the pawn asks me what to do with that bishop, I will just capture here. Going back doesn't make sense because my bishop would be trapped and we don't want that. So also going very back would mean that I lost tempo. So I don't want to do that. I will just capture here because I would most likely capture later in the game anyways. Getting rid of the attacker in the center. Are you planning to play well anytime soon? I'm about to do what you think I am about to do. What am I saying? I am about to do what you think I am about to do. So she's about to resign? Is that it? Bishop for knight? Yes, well, the disadvantages of Rossolimo is that we give up on the bishop pair, but at least we got rid of an attacker over there in the center. So d4 is not going to happen anytime soon, because there are just, again, many defenders on the d4 square, so I will just play d3 because I want to get my bishop out. I don't want to play b3 and then bishop d2, because I will not be able to move the knight anywhere where I would like to, only to a4, which would defend the b2 bishop. Because there is a pin over there, or sort of a pin. And, well, I don't want that. I will just play d3, maybe bring the bishop to e3, or to g5, or to f4. I will see that. But d3 for sure has to happen. d3, let's go. You realize this is chess, not checkers, right? The thing I like about bishops is that you don't know how to defend against them. Says who? I don't know. Well, it's true they can be a little bit tricky, but you don't have to be so scared of them, especially if the position is closed. Bishop g4, pinning my knight over there, which is a little bit uncomfortable. I don't want the bishop to capture on f3 and I have to recapture with the pawn, because that would damage my pawn structure. But for now I have a queen there that can keep defending the knight. But the queen doesn't want to stay there forever, so I need to get rid of this pin. And well, one way to do so is by pushing h3. I question the bishop has to move away. If the bishop goes to g5, then comes the typical trapping move, this g4, and I get a piece for 2 pawns or 1 pawn. And if h3 and the bishop goes back, then black lost tempo. And I did improve my position a little bit. I mean, I don't have to be afraid of back rank thingies anymore. Okay, so let's play h3. Yeah, bishop captured. Wait, what did she say? I'm not worried in the slightest. How you left this move open is beyond me. Well, she now gave back the bishop pair, so now she doesn't have a bishop pair either. That's a good thing. It's not a question how I want to recapture. Damaging our pawn structure is rarely a good idea, so queen should capture on f3, queen recaptures. Okay. Bishop comes in, which is a bit weird. The bishops don't have to be in the center to be good, because, you know, they see far. One bishop that is in g7 can see a1, b2, and doesn't feel like this bishop was improved in this position, especially since the king is still in the middle, right? Black should have probably played knight f6 and then castle. That would be the usual continuation. Bishop d4 is just way too weird for my taste. I don't think this bishop is doing much there. Especially, you know, if you are going to fianchetto your bishop, then wherever you do it, so for example, if black does it, now the g7 square is weak and the dark squares can be weak, and without the bishop they are weak. So that's why it doesn't make sense to bring the bishop out, unless it would help with the attack, but the king is still in the middle, so I don't think it was a good decision. With your skills, you would probably beat most kindergarteners. I will take that as a compliment. I'm actually thinking about playing knight e2 and regrouping my knight here or here. I will see. f4 is also something I would like to play at some point. Right now I can't, also because it's a pin, also because there is a queen in front of the pawn, but f4 is often a move because I want to attack the opponent's king. But black lost tempo because they did not continue with the development. That's the objective of the whole opening, right? To develop your pieces, put your king into safety, control the center. These moves are just not in the spirit of that, this kind of moves. I'm thinking about bishop e3 actually offering an exchange, but on the other hand, I won't want to capture there, straightening my opponent's pawn structure. But the advantages of that move would be even weaker dark squares. But if I don't have a dark square bishop, then it's harder to take advantage of those squares. Tough decisions. I could also just play here, play c3, develop the bishop, bring the other rook to d1, and play d4, and just control the center even better. I think I like this move the most, because this knight is not doing much right now from c3, but if I bring it closer, then it could be great, especially if black just continues with knight f6. I will take, maybe I won't take it immediately, we will see, but probably I would take it, and then there is no dark squared bishop anymore, so that would be good. Okay, knight e2, let's go. What is this queen b8 move? That is totally against the spirit of the opening. What is queen b8? I could imagine such moves being good when you threaten something on h2, or when you support b5, b4, b3 kind of pawn pushes. But now the king being in the middle, and this knight is still sleeping, and the bishop is out there, and I'm threatening to capture it actually. I don't see the idea behind this. I see the idea, the potential ideas, but I don't think it's a good move. Now, since the dark squares will be so weak after I capture the bishop, I will just take that. Yes, I will straighten my opponent's pawn structure, but I will have the bishop against this knight, and the dark squares are incredibly weak, and whenever the knight develops, I will just put the bishop on h6, not allowing the king to castle anymore. So yeah, I think I will just capture on d4, because keep in mind, I have finished the development. Only my bishop needs to get out and my rook, but I am much ahead of black. So therefore I can be the one who attacks or exchanges pieces here. So yeah, I will just take this. This queen even locks the rook in. Okay, pawn recaptured. We straightened black's pawn structure, but now with this bishop being gone, I think our bishop will be much better. We can make it a monster bishop. I'm thinking where to put it. Bishop f4 might look like a good idea, but I think after e5, I'm not sure I like that, because black would try to close the position. And that's what they should do. When you have a knight against the bishop, you should try to close the position. So I don't want to put the bishop to f4, even though it seems like we win a tempo because of e5. I'm thinking about playing c3 instead, trying to crack the position and open more space for my bishop. Although maybe it's not a bad idea after all, because we would make black weaken more squares. I'm not sure I want to get into that. Now I feel better about c3, to be honest. Yeah, I feel better about c3. Because if takes, pawn takes, and I will have a beautiful center later once I push d4. And I can decide whether I want to put my bishop here or on this diagonal. We will see. I will have more options, plus my rooks will also have the space to come in, right? And well, since my opponent is underdeveloped and their king is still in the middle, I need to open the position as fast as I can, right? Because if I don't, then they will have enough time to fix their issues, because their biggest issues are temporary. There are temporary weaknesses and permanent weaknesses. Permanent weakness could be pawn structure issue, almost impossible to fix, almost. Temporary is like the king's position. It can be fixed if you give enough time for your opponent, and you need to decide when you have a target, is it temporary, is it permanent? Because that decides how fast you need to act. So I will just play c3 because it's a faster move. I'm already attacking this pawn. If black just ignores, there will be a pawn up, and if pawn takes, they don't develop further. So that should be good. c3 it is. Queen d6. So the queen went from d8 to b8, so just it can go to d6. This move could have been made in one move. Go ahead, see what happens. Bow before your queen. I see. All right. So this looks like a natural move that will weaken my pawn. That would create a backward pawn, but I'm not sure I care. Maybe I would even allow Lily to take on d3. So queen takes, bishop out, and queen takes there. Maybe I would even bring this rook here, because while black is busy capturing a pawn, one pawn, right? They don't develop. But in the meantime, I got many good moves. I could develop further. I could bring more pieces into the attack. So I think this pawn sacrifice should work out well. Yeah, let's capture. I go there, queen takes. I go there. If the queen takes on b2, I'm still fine with that because I can still go to rook b1 and then come in. Yes, black will most likely take this a2 pawn too, and we could be scared. Oh wait, what happens with the poor a6 pawn? It can promote anytime it's a pass pawn. Hello, we are in an opening, right? So we don't have to be afraid of that. We will arrive much faster. Until it gets to a1, I will get old. So yeah, bishop e3. Bishop e3 it is. I don't mind black capturing that pawn because I just get too much compensation. I would be ashamed if I were you. I think it's pretty clear what's about to happen. Yeah, I think so. I think so too. So I'm really tempted to play d4. Play d4 to have two beautiful pawns in the center controlling squares. So that's one thing I'm thinking about. Another thing I'm thinking about is nothing, actually. It's nothing. Maybe rook a d1. So if the knight goes there, I will have bishop h6, not allowing black to castle that side. Because keep in mind, if I let him castle, then I will have a harder job because in a castled position, the king is just much safer most of the time. But if I play d4 and knight f6 happens, and I play bishop h6, the d4 pawn could be hanging over there. So yes, the queen can capture. I still sacrifice a pawn, but now it's maybe a little bit different. Maybe it's a little bit different because d4 will be hanging. Probably it's still fine, but I would sacrifice two pawns for this initiative. Which I think is probably fine, but I'm not sure I have to go into that. So maybe I will just play rook a d1 now, preparing d4. We will see what black does. If they long castle, I will love, because I have a dark squared bishop, and all these dark squares are exposed for my bishop. My bishop will have such a huge part in the king's position, you have no idea. So long castle is out of the plans. So maybe I will just play rook a d1. I don't want to take risks unnecessarily, like sacrificing two pawns or yeah. In this case, in the previous one, I was fine with it. Just here, the knight would be out too. That's my issue with it. As I said, I think it's still fine, but I prefer rook a d1. Here I don't want to give two pawns, or potentially. Rook there. Again, black completely abandoned their kingside development, so we are good. Now I would play d4 because now it's well supported. I just improve my position and ask, okay, what are you going to do with these pieces? If the knight moves, as I said, I will get there with my bishop, cutting the king off. So d4 it is. It's hilarious that you think that will work. Prepare to be crushed. Okay. Fine, let's see that. d4. Don't know what's more painful, your style of play or how long this is taking. Have you ever gotten caught in a stampede? Because you are about to be. Ooh. It would sound scary if she didn't play this knight f6, but now bishop h6 is coming. I don't allow him to I don't allow her to castle. And I also threaten bishop g7, and maybe I will capture over there, leaving the king in the middle of the things, because if the king stays in the middle, it will be much easier to stop her and checkmate her. Yeah, so I will go in. This is a very typical move, remember, chat, cutting the king off. Okay, I guess. And she goes back. Okay, this is a huge mistake. I hope, chat, you see why. Bishop g7, of course. Yes, well, she tried to kick my bishop, but after bishop g7, I just win the rook. Yeah, that's it. You might like horses now, but you won't in a minute. No, I like this horsey. Actually, it's very cute. I would pet it anytime. It's doing a great job. Well done, horsey. So bishop g7, this poor rook is stuck over there. I have never seen someone lose so quickly. My queen is going to send your pieces to a better place. Fine. I want to see that happening. I want to see that happening. Queen got out, threatening a2, threatening the a2 pawn, which I could give. I could capture on h8 and just ignore that the queen can capture there. But you know what, chat? Why am I in a hurry? Where is that rook going? I don't have to hurry with such things. I'm thinking about playing d5 first, trying to open the position even more with the tempo, right? I'm threatening the pawn, I'm threatening the queen. So something must happen there. The rook is not going anywhere. When there is a threat that it goes away, I will capture it. Until then, we will see. So d5 because pawn takes, and then I think pawn takes. I would capture with the pawn, and then I will have this semi-open e-file, so my other rook can join too later in the future. So yes, I think I'm going to do that. The queen cannot do anything aggressive or threatening, so let's just do d5. This rook is not going anywhere. Great strategy. Bore me into resigning. I see why you are too embarrassed to play against a real person. So I capture with the pawn. I could capture with the rook too, to be honest, but after the rook captures, pawn recaptures. I think it's the same. I prefer with the pawn, to be honest. I want to keep this rook. I feel like my rook is better than black's rook, so I would like to keep it on the board. Whatever. I don't know about you, but it seems pretty obvious what to do here. I mean, yeah. It does. I'm really tempted to push this d6 pawn. This rook is still not going anywhere, so why bother? Why bother, right? We can capture that anytime we want. I'm thinking about pushing d6 and trying to open here, crack her position open, because if pawn takes, yeah, we say, oh no, my pawn, but actually we can just bring this rook here with tempo and check. I actually want this pawn to capture my pawn. It's a typical way to open or crack your opponent's position and their defense, offering a pawn exchange, because that's how you open fights, right? By exchanging pawns. So d6, and if the pawn pushes, then I don't mind that because I will have a pawn in her face on d6, and I wish her good luck removing that pawn. So let's play d6. Okay, queen goes back. I think that's not a great move. You realize this is chess, not checkers, right? To say I am threatening your piece gives a false sense that I might not take it. Now she wants to capture there with the rook. Because now that's a threat, or sort of a threat. I mean, it doesn't scare me, but I suppose that's the idea behind it. I still don't have to hurry with taking this rook. It's ridiculous. I have been threatening this rook for a couple of moves now, but I don't want to take it yet. It's fine. It's fine. It's doing great. Good job, rook. I will take it when I feel like it. I will just continue with the attack. I also don't want to take it because by capturing pieces, it's funny to put it this way, but when you capture a piece, you lose time, right? And you could look at me with surprise and suspicion, like, why? Well, often if you capture a free piece, I'm talking about free pieces. When you capture a free piece, you are not doing what you were doing before, right? So your opponent gets an extra move. Because let's imagine this rook. Anyways, it's fine. Sorry, that was a mistake. That was a misclick. I just wanted to draw an arrow. That was a misclick. Anyways, it's still fine. We are a rook up. Anything is fine. That's not what I would have played, to be honest. But anyways, so if we come back here, so just what I wanted to say is that if this rook is not there, let's imagine, would you play bishop h8? You wouldn't play bishop h8. So in a way, it's a way of losing time. And you see, this is what I'm talking about, because now black had time to capture that pawn, which is a tiny little bit not nice. I'm not so pleased about it, but okay, I am a rook up. Anything works. Probably if I had to make, if I had the chance to put these things back and correct my misclick, I would probably play rook fe1, threatening the queen with tempo again, bringing an extra attacker with tempo, and again threatening things on e7 and opening files. Since the rook captured there, the files did not open, which is a bit sad. So now I wouldn't play rook fe1 because the rook will just capture here, and I don't want to recapture with my queen. I would have to capture with my rook, but then I lost tempo, right? I don't want to capture this rook either because I prefer that she captures, because then I bring an attacker to d1. So yeah, I'm thinking about queen takes b7 at this point, just to spice it up a little bit, yeah. Queen captures sounds like a good idea. And that's what I will do. I don't care about my a2 hanging because this king is in a much bigger trouble. Let's do it. Move already. Okay, I'm sorry. This is basically the easiest scenario on the board. Wow. So my queen is in her face now. And well, she played f6 to block my bishop in. But I don't think I'm afraid. I'm not shaking yet. My bishop is a bit stuck, but it's fine. She also wants to hide on f7, which is a wise idea because she really doesn't want to go out there, because then the game won't last that long. Not even like this, to be honest. We can maybe still take. I want to keep the queens on the board. That's for sure, because this king is just much worse. But yeah, taking the rook could be a good idea. Queen takes, and maybe I bring my rook to e1 or to c1. I will see which one I prefer. I don't have to be afraid of anything near my king because everything should be fine. It's very well protected. So yeah, rook takes d6 is the move I like. Rook e1 could make sense, but I'm not threatening anything yet after rook e1. After rook c1, however, I can threaten to come in, let's say, to c6, c7 or c8. It depends on my taste, which one I prefer. So I think I like rook c1. Rook d1 is not an option because I don't want to blunder my rook, obviously. So I like rook c1 because we should bring our last piece into the attack, I believe. I could also try with b4, a4, b5. That's also a thing, I suppose. That could work. I prefer rook c1. Let's play rook c1. We don't need to worry, by the way, about this bishop, chat. This bishop on h8 is stuck. Let's be honest, it's stuck. And my opponent might threaten to capture it, and we might think, okay, then since it will be captured anyways, then let's go desperado and capture this f6. And at least we get some material for the bishop. Why not? Let's do it since it's so stuck anyways. Chat. There is no need to hurry, right? Because this bishop is not under attack yet. When it's under attack, I will think about sacrificing it, but first I don't think I want to sacrifice it yet. So I'm thinking about bringing this in. There might be a check here, but I think I can just go back, and if the queen goes there, no need to worry, it's not perpetual. I have just a simple g3 move. And I should be fine, Rook c7 could make sense too, but I'm not threatening with anything, chat. So that's why I don't like rook c7. Rook c6 could be a move also, actually. Or also queen check could be a move. Maybe I like rook c6 the most, because if the queen goes there, I can just go to h2, and then I potentially have this check too, which could help in the attack. Yes, okay, let's play rook c6. Also, I'm threatening to capture there, and then I will have two passers, two connected passers, and those two siblings will be very happy to promote the queen hand in hand. How romantic. Okay, so rook c6. So chat, you might get too excited and say, oh hey, if I move this rook with a check, then I can win the queen because the queen is undefended. But, and then you think, hey, I just moved the rook with check, right? I could capture on f6, and then once black recaptures, I can just capture on d5 with the queen. But that's not the case, because the problem is, once rook captures on f6, the knight will recapture, which defends the queen. And yeah, that's why we shouldn't fall in love with moves too early, because we might get excited. Oh, hey, I win a queen, but no, we don't, because once the knight recaptures, yeah, this will be defended, and we just lost a rook. Let's not do that, right? Let's not do that. On the other hand, but that doesn't work. I was thinking, what if we capture with the bishop now, and the knight captures, and then the rook captures? Now that could be funny. And if black doesn't capture the bishop, then we won a pawn and our bishop is out, right? But there is one problem with this. Bishop takes f6. What is it, Chad? Do you see it? Why is it not a great idea to capture on f6 right now with the bishop? So we cannot capture here. It looks like a good idea, but the problem is queen will just give a check. We have to move away, and then will black capture. We will still have an exchange more, but why should we let this horse see out, right? Why should we do that? So here's another thing, chat. When you have a trap or you have a fancy move, try to see what happens if your opponent is not stupid. Always assume your opponent is not stupid and they don't fall for tricks, because you will make better decisions. Let's see, I think I will just capture on a6 with the queen, and at that point maybe I will just go for the spin and exchange queens, because I will have two passers. Yeah, why not? Why not? Yeah, I'm not afraid of checks. I'm not afraid of checks. Nothing can happen, so let's do this. We capture. Okay. Oh, again, I forgot to read what she said. Anyways, can I still see? You can address me as your Royal Highness from now on. Whoa. Okay. And now she says, with your skills, you would probably beat most kindergarteners. Yeah, you said that before, and I'm pretty aware I could. Knight got out. So now I actually want to play queen here. Yeah, I gave up on the checkmate, chat. I will just play a boring endgame, because with these two passers, it's easy peasy lemon squeezy. So now I do offer an exchange. I don't want the queens on the board anymore. I could again start pushing the pawns, but why not simplify? Fewer pieces, less trouble, right? So queen here, queen c4. I feel like the king could hide easily on f7, so we don't have anything else to do now. Our queen is just chilling. So queen c4, I like that. Did you mean to set up a sacrifice? I'm doing this because I want to, not because you made me. Yes, sure, of course, of course. So now we don't have any other moves but to capture. Let's go. Ooh, she said. Thank God this is almost over. Yes, well, not for me. This bishop is still trapped, but okay, if the king gets closer, worst case, I just give this check and keep it on. I could even sacrifice it, but okay, bishop lives matter. So, but for now, I again don't have to overstress it. I don't have to go there before, because it makes no sense, right? So I can just start pushing my pawns. This knight is threatening nothing. So I will just push the a pawn. I push the a pawn because this is the most far away from everything. I could push the b pawn too, but now it became natural to me that I need to push the one that is actually further the most far away from everything, because it's harder to catch it, right? If something is far, then it's harder to run after it, especially with the king and the knight, because they are both slow pieces. Okay, knight goes there. Now let's not blunder our rook. I'm actually thinking about going to b4, rook b4, so if the king goes there, I can still go there. I could even go to c6, so if the king goes there, I can just go to f6, which would be a nice trap, actually. But if I go to c6, there could be knight b7 controlling my a5. And I'm not, but actually at that point I could capture an f6 again. Because if I go there and knight goes to b7, bishop captures, pawn captures, and then there is rook c7 check, a fork. So that wouldn't be bad, actually. b4 is also good. I mean, we are a rook up. Everything is good. Everything is good, almost. So let's play rook c6, I suppose. I don't make small talk. I prefer to judge you in silence. Please challenge me a little. Okay, I'm sorry. So now I don't capture an f6 because the king can recapture, although we could still end up in a winning pawn endgame. But I don't want to show off my pawn endgame skills, so I will just continue. I will just continue pushing my poor pawn. Here we should sack the rook, I think. That is also a good idea. We could even sack it, pawn captures, and then we can just promote. Yeah, probably maybe that's even more straightforward, you are right. Horses are outdated. Ever heard of cars? Now there is proof that I'm better than you. Not that I needed any. Okay, and now let's just push the little Johnny, a6. Finally, the end is in sight. Okay, g4. I really don't have to react to this. I could, but I don't have to. I can just push, but maybe just for the good-looking pawn structure. Okay, I will take it. Why not? Let's see what she has to say. Took you long enough. I was getting bored. Sigh. Are you going to play like this the whole game? Yes, actually. a7, we want to promote. Okay, I finally understand why they call chess a board game. Board game! What a pun. Alright, I really don't have to react to this. I will just promote. Do you want to say goodbye now or in a couple of moves? Congratulations on winning an imaginary trophy that can only be seen on your phone. I'm on my computer, thanks. Yeah, so we recapture. Why not? Great, now it will take me an extra 30 seconds to beat you. I will just bring my queen closer, trying to cut her king of the center and force him to the corner and the side of the board. Yeah, let's bring this here, attacking there, plus threatening to come there. Okay, she went closer. Now I think I could even promote just for the fun of it, rather than just figuring out a kind of checkmate. That could work too, but I think that's more brain job, you know. And we chess players are lazy. We want easy wins. Easy, straightforward wins. So maybe I will just push it, yeah. Do you really think I would let you threaten a piece accidentally? Yeah, I thought. Okay, so let's push it, I suppose. I'm bored anyways. I don't want to find the fastest checkmate. She doesn't say anything. Look at that. She's speechless. Doesn't happen often. Okay, let's bring this. Okay, king got closer. We don't want to push b7 because then all of our effort would be lost. So I feel like I will just give this check. Do you want to say goodbye now or in a couple of moves? Just face it, I'm better than you. I can see that. Finally, the end is in sight. Okay, she repeats the things now. I can't get away from you, but at least my king can. Okay, and now we promote because it's easier. You know, two sisters on the board. They will manage it. Just let's not stalemate, right? That would be a bit embarrassing. Will you fall into my trap already? For once, I'm not taking your pieces. Okay, I think we can confidently capture it here. Alright, and now let's checkmate. I think I will capture their check. Enjoyed scoring a single point all game. I hope you are not allergic to dust, since that's all that's left of you. If I was on the other side and I was the one with one king, I would be hurt. I would be hurt after this comment. But Lily, dear Lily, it's not the time to talk. So check, simple ladder mate. So now if I, for example, play g3, and I hope I don't accidentally play it, then it would be stalemate. So let's not do that. Let's just checkmate here. That's it. Okay. I'm leaving. Don't follow me to Duolingo. Let's see the game review just to make sure we did okay. 93% accuracy, that's not bad. And we didn't do any inaccuracies, any mistakes, any misses, or any blunders. That's cool. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe and like the video. I will see you next time. Bye bye!